morning. It's Thursday, February 19th. Today we are celebrating Morning Live's 25th anniversary.
And to celebrate the occasion, we'll be live across the region for the next 4 hours. Annette and I will be here in the studio.
Sean Cowan is going to be at the Royal Botanical Gardens in Burlington. Simone Gavros will be live at 13th Street Winery in St. Catharines.
And we're going to have Brian and Emily in Niagara Falls. Good morning to you both.
Good morning. Oh, Brian, this is a familiar place for you.
Look at this. Look at this. I'm trying to hold down my poncho here. It's not like it's really raining, but the mist is so heavy coming off the Horseshoe Falls behind me. We're soaked just standing out here for a few minutes. So that's kind of the way look at the things I do for television, huh?
And we love you for it. Thank you. You've been in this situation before.
And Emily,
yeah,
Emily, you're also in the Falls?
So we are.
Sorry, Emily, you're also in the Falls. What are you up to today?
Oh, hi. Yeah, I'm in Table Rock House Restaurant, staying nice and dry and warm. But I've got Luke's coffee and Brian's coffee on hold, so whenever they want to come in and, you know, get warm, I've got you.
That's great. Okay, Brian, what about the forecast today? What are we looking at?
I can tell you what we have here at the moment. We've got heavy mist at the moment coming off the falls, but for the day today, right now we're sitting at -2 with a wind chill of -8, and we are going to see some showers on and off with fairly light winds, so be prepared for a wet day. At least we're not looking at freezing precipitation, although we did have enough of that yesterday, but it looks like it's going to be fairly cloudy. The temperature should climb to the plus side for the day today, +2, but then we're looking at a little bit cooler temperatures and definitely cooler as we get into the weekend. But yeah, right now -2, climbing to +2. We'll give you details on all of that coming up in a few minutes for you.
We've got traffic details from Steve Ruddock this morning. And on a traffic note, a weather note as well, all Halton District and Halton Catholic District schools are open. However, buses are canceled in Halton Zone 1. That covers Burlington and Oakville.
All right, now let's say good morning to Steve Ruddock. Steve, how are the roads this morning?
Well, the roads are actually better than they were last night. When I was going home after the 6 o'clock show last night, there was icy conditions all over the place. Coming in today, not a big problem. The good news is that 602 is at the top of the link at the 403 there. There had been an earlier accident, about 15 vehicles involved. It's all been cleaned up, so that's good. So again, the roads will be damp out there, so just take your time. Give yourself lots of room between you and the next person, because you never know as this temperature bobs in around the freezing mark, as Brian will tell us in a few minutes. Again, things could get fairly slippery. But let's check your roads right now at 603. A quick look down towards Niagara. First of all, we're going to see that things are moving along in pretty good shape. So the roads, for the most part, are at least damp. And I have not heard of any icy conditions just yet, have not heard of any accidents. Looking at Ontario Street, the QEW Skyway on the Hamilton side of things, traffic's moving along in good shapes, building up as it would. Guelph Line and the QEW, traffic's moving along all right. And again, the good news is not hearing of any icy conditions out there. Up by the Ford plant, seeing no major problems. And up by Pearson, if you're heading there, traffic is building as it normally does this time of day, just after 6 a.m. But otherwise, traffic's moving along in pretty good shape. Certainly a lot better than it was last night going homes. But again, just extra caution is a good thing to do today and right into tomorrow as well. But we'll be back with more traffic. And Brian with the weather down at the Falls with his nice poncho in a few minutes.
Okay, thanks very much, Steve. We have breaking news at this hour. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, formerly known as Prince Andrew, has been arrested. The charge, suspicion of misconduct in public office. He was arrested hours ago at his Sandringham Estate home in England and is in custody. Searches are being carried out at addresses in Berkshire and Norfolk, England. Officers are investigating allegations that he shared sensitive information with convicted sex offender, the late Jeffrey Epstein, during his time as the UK's trade envoy. And there are also claims of a sexual trafficking encounter involving Epstein. Police stress this investigation is ongoing and say they are working carefully to maintain integrity and objectivity.
Hamilton's homicide unit is now investigating the death of a man hit by a vehicle on York Boulevard Monday night. 25-year-old was a passenger in a vehicle involved in an interaction with people in another vehicle near the Royal Botanical Gardens. A Hamilton Spectator says homicide detectives are going over evidence to see if more charges should be laid. A 29-year-old man is already facing charges of dangerous driving causing death and failing to stop. Police are asking anyone who is in the area of York Boulevard and Plains Road at around 8:30 Monday nights to contact them.
A magic mushroom dispensary in Hamilton's East End has been shut down. Hamilton police started an investigation into shroom gods on Main Street East near Kenilworth Avenue in January. And last week, they seized more than 1,600 grams of psilocybin in packaged forms, and they arrested a man running the store. Psilocybin is a hallucinogen, and it's a controlled substance in Canada. The production, sale, and possession of it is illegal. A teenage girl's been missing in Hamilton now for more than a week. 15-year-old Amber Lynn Kearns hasn't been seen since February 11th. Hamilton police say she uses public transit and has traveled to Toronto, Peel Region, and London in the past. She's Indigenous, about 5'7", with a medium build. Amber Lynn has brown shoulder-length hair, and she was wearing a dark Nike hoodie, black track pants, and black Air Jordan shoes with red soles. Hamilton Public Library's Central Branch could temporarily close as officials deal with growing safety concerns. At last night's library board meeting, members discussed a rise in drug use and behavioral incidents inside the downtown location. Chief Librarian Paul Takala says drugs are being openly distributed in the building, with overdoses and security responses increasing significantly in the last few months. Library officials say the situation has overwhelmed staff, forcing repeated washroom closures and even a Sunday shutdown because of the safety risks. Takala says the temporary closure is being considered while renovations and new safety measures are put in place to protect both staff and families. Hamilton City Councillors are set to hold a special meeting today to talk about the library's budget and the next steps.
It is day 13 of the Winter Olympics in Italy, and Canada will add to its medal count in women's hockey today. But will it be gold or silver when the Canadians take on the United States at 1 p.m.? It marks the 7th time the two nations will score off for Olympic gold, with Canada holding a 4-2 edge, although the Americans have won their last 7 games against Canada. In curling, Canada's Rachel Homan needs a win over South Korea this morning to secure a spot in the semifinals, while Brad Jacobs will play in the semis this afternoon. There's more speed skating today, and ski mountaineering, a mix of skiing and mountain climbing called Skimo, will make its Olympic debut. Norway is still number 1 in the medal count with 15 gold, followed by Italy with 9 and the United States with 7. Canada is 11th overall with 4 gold, 4 silver, and 6 bronze.
Now celebrating with Marner and Harley. Mitch Marner through to the net.
Mitch Marner scored the biggest goal of his career. His nifty backhander in overtime gave Canada a 4-3 come-from-behind win over Czechia, pushing the Canadians into tomorrow's semifinals, where they will face Finland. Now, Captain Sidney Crosby left the game in the second period with a lower body injury and will have an MRI, leaving his status for the rest of the tournament up in the air. The Finns, by the way, beat Switzerland 3-2 in overtime. Quinn Hughes scored in OT as the U.S. edged Sweden 2-1 and will face Slovakia in the semis. Now, every Olympics has a few surprise performances, but this one takes the cake. During yesterday's cross-country team sprint in Italy, a dog stole the spotlight during a qualifying run to the finish line. The 2-year-old Czechoslovakian wolf dog named Nazgul was collared by race officials and returned unharmed to his home at a nearby bed and breakfast. Nazgul's owner says he was looking for company rather than Olympic glory. Less than 2 weeks after winning the Super Bowl, the Seattle Seahawks are up for sale. It's in accordance with the wishes of late owner Paul Allen, who bought the franchise in 1997 for $194 million. The team could sell for between $7 and $8 billion. Jake O'Brien scored a couple of goals, including the winner in the third period to lead the Brantford Bulldogs past the Oshawa Generals 4-2. And the Raptors are back in action tonight. First game following the NBA All-Star break. They are in Chicago.
Okay, we're going to head back to Niagara Falls now, check on the weather with Brian Wood.
Well, I don't know whether you, in the camera here, you can see how heavy the mist is. Now, that's just coming off the falls, the Rainbow Falls behind me, the Horseshoe Falls. We're here at our location at Table Rock, so it's pretty heavy mist at the moment. But what we're going to have weather-wise for the day today is some showers. Let's check our temperatures right now. In Hamilton, we're sitting at -2. We do have a bit of a wind chill this morning of -8, and it is fairly cloudy. Now, for today, we have a low-pressure system that's glancing its way across the Great Lakes, and we have another one for the day tomorrow. But at least the one tomorrow is going to bring us in some milder temperatures. Actually, we're going to climb to 6 degrees for the day tomorrow. Today we should hit about 2, but we're going to be unsettled. We're going to get some showers today, showers tonight. So looking at today's forecast, there's that 2-degree high. The winds will be fairly light, but be prepared for some showers on and off. It's about a 30% chance of showers, but it's in the forecast for today. Now for tonight, the temperature is going to fall to +1 tonight. It's going to be fairly cloudy. We'll get some showers again. And then tomorrow, as the warm front goes through, the temperature tomorrow all the way to 6 degrees. No sun in our forecast, unfortunately. It's going to be fairly cloudy. We will get rain coming to an end in the morning and then chance of scattered showers. But at least it's going to be a fair bit milder. So the melting is going to continue until we get into the beginning of next week when it will get colder. And we'll talk about the long-range forecast coming up a little later on. So the mist is pretty heavy right now. The noise from the Horseshoe Falls is pretty loud here, and we're just a little bit away from it. But yeah, we're prepared to get a little bit more drenched. And I thank this poncho that I have here for keeping me fairly dry, although I can't see. We'll look at the long-range forecast coming up. Now let's get a check on traffic. Here's Steve.
Thanks, Brian. Very fashionable out there this morning. All right, let's have a look and see what's on the road. 6:12 on your Thursday, and it's a lot nicer in the studio today than it certainly is outside by the Horseshoe Falls. All right, let's go down towards Niagara. First of all, other than the heavy mist that is coming off the falls, as you get around the Glendale area, roads are damp, yes, and I've not heard of any icing conditions. Driving home last night from work was a bit of a test out there for, I think, a lot of people. There was an earlier accident on the link this morning, but that's all cleared up. And as we get into the Hamilton area, Burlington side of things right now, again, the roads are damp, but should be no problems. However, you can figure that things could change at any moment as that temperature dances in around the freezing mark there. So give yourself extra time and also give yourself extra room between you and the next driver out there. That's a good thing to do today and tonight and also tomorrow. Let's look at things for now.
Okay, thanks, Steve. Coming up after the break, we're going to take a look at the latest business news. But first, we're going to say good morning to Simone Gavros at the 13th Street Winery in St. Catharines for our 25th anniversary.
Good morning, Annette. Yes, we're here at 13th Street Winery here in St. Catharines, and they have graciously opened up their doors today, letting us host for the celebration of this milestone for us here at Morning Live. Now, coming up, I'm going to be speaking with the president and owner of the winery to hear a little bit more about what they have to offer here when it comes to wine, food, and art. And of course, we know that they're known for their famous butter tarts. We'll also be speaking to St. Catharines Mayor Matt Cisco, and then a little bit later, we'll be learning a little bit more about Ontario VQA wines. But of course, this is all a part of our celebrations here on Morning Live as we celebrate 25 years. Plenty more coming up after the break. Stay with us.
Checking the markets at 6:15, the Canadian dollar is up 10 basis points this morning, trading just over 73 cents U.S. Gold is up $6.50 an ounce. Crude is up 73 cents at $65.77 U.S. a barrel. Midday trading in Europe, markets are trading down across the board. London, Frankfurt, and Paris.
Over in Asia, markets were up triple digits in Tokyo and Hong Kong, but down in Shanghai. And on the North American markets, the TSX added 493 points, the Dow gained 129, the Nasdaq closed 175 points higher.
General Motors is going to spend $63 million to upgrade its assembly plant in Oshawa. The investment comes weeks after the company ended the plant's third shift. That move led to about 500 layoffs at GM itself and hundreds more job losses at suppliers. General Motors says the new funding will help prepare the Oshawa plant build the next generation of gas-powered full-size pickup trucks. Oshawa is now GM's only active vehicle assembly plant in Canada after production of its electric delivery van ended last year in Ingersoll.
A memorandum of understanding has been signed in Hamilton with a Korean shipbuilding company. Ontario Shipyards and Hanwha Ocean have agreed to collaborate on shipbuilding, maintenance and education. Hanwha Ocean wants to build submarines for Canada in Korea, but maintenance would be done in Hamilton and Port Weller in St. Catharines. The announcement comes after Prime Minister Mark Carney launched his Canada Defence Industrial Strategy.
I think it's transformational for our country. We have a company like Hanwha Ocean in Korea, who's one of the largest shipbuilders in the world, that's willing to come here and help support and build homegrown capacity, sovereign defense capability.
Mohawk College will also benefit. It signed a letter of intent to develop a dedicated shipbuilding learning program.
Okay, we're taking a quick break right now on this special edition of Morning Live. We will be back with traffic and your 7-day forecast.
All right, welcome back to Morning Live here at 6:20 on your Thursday and celebrating our 25th anniversary here at Morning Live. Thanks for joining us today on this auspicious occasion. On the roads, things are fairly quiet, and that is good because the drive home last night with the rain and then freezing conditions, not good on the major thoroughfares, but we're seeing things all right now, although the roads are damp out there. Moving through the Niagara area, seeing no major problems. South end of the Burlington Skyway Bridge, traffic's building, but looking okay. Ford plant, seeing no major problems out there, and traffic along the 403 Eglinton Avenue's light up by Pearson Airport. Traffic is building as you would expect at 6:21 on a regular day. So that's what we've got on the road. So just give yourself a little extra time, leave a little extra room because conditions can change on the roads. But now let's join Brian down at Niagara.
Yeah, right beside the Horseshoe Falls, and it's difficult to hear because of this flapping against my ear here, and of course the sound of the Horseshoe Falls right beside us. Luke and I have been through this before. I think it was 15-20 years ago we got soaked down here. We're getting soaked again now. Let's look at the long-range forecast. Our temperature right now is -2, wind chill of -8. We're going to climb to the plus side today. We should hit +2 for the day today. We're going to get some showers. We'll stay on the plus side for tonight, +1, and then tomorrow we're going to climb all the way to, well, we could hit 6 degrees. Niagara Falls tomorrow could hit 7 degrees tomorrow, but we are going to get some showers. Now, it does tend to get a little bit chillier as we get into the weekend. Temperature will fall. We're going to get some flurry activity for the weekend, and then we'll get some sunshine coming in, but it is definitely going to be colder as we get into next week. All right, that's a quick check on your long-range forecast. Let's go back inside, where I think it's a lot drier than it is here to Simone and Rick.
It is. Thank you, Brian. Stay dry out there. Now, Brantford Mayor Kevin Davis has been a fixture on Morning Live over the years.
Adam Atkinson sat down with him to talk everything from hockey to Brantford's booming industrial sector.
Yeah, and he also takes us on a tour of one company that makes something you're guaranteed to find in your home.
All right, I'm joined by Brantford Mayor Kevin Davis in the home of the Brantford Bulldogs. Not only are they the best team in the OHL, they're one of the best teams in the entire Canadian Hockey League. How great has it been for this community to have an OHL team again?
Well, because hockey runs in our blood here, it has been a fantastic experience having an OHL team here in town. It's been something that this community has wanted ever since the Alexanders left in the 1980s. And as I said, this is a hockey town. We understand hockey. We appreciate hockey. We've got a great minor hockey network here. I mean, Brantford's more than just hockey, but it's a big part of our life here. And this is kind of life affirming in that sense.
What is the key to attracting businesses and corporations to this area?
It's a lot of different reasons. You talk to the manufacturers located here, say within the last 10 years, it's been in one case, it might be that the price of industrial land here in Brantford has been very reasonable. But I think what's happening in the last 5-6 years is that we have a municipal government here in Brantford, both the elected officials and the staff, that are very much business orientated and value business. We're trying to streamline the process and procedures we have at City Hall for those who want to create a business here. We've got a really dedicated workforce here in Brantford, very high labor force participation rates, a fairly high education rate too in terms of understanding manufacturing and what it takes to work in a modern manufacturing facility. And people here in Brantford truly do appreciate businesses that decide to locate here. Also, for the employees that want to work here, generally the cost of housing here is much less than it is in other parts of the GTA.
Yeah,
and there's a quality of life here that you often don't get in a larger city.
How fast is this community growing? Like, I know when I moved here probably 15 years ago, it was under 100,000 people.
Yeah, and it wasn't growing. Back in 10, 15 years ago, there was no growth. And in a couple of years, it was actually retracting. In the last 4 or 5 years, there's been quite a bit of growth here in Brantford. Actually, last year, probably we were rated as the 3rd fastest growing city in Ontario. Recently, the Residential Council of Ontario gave us an A+ rating for the number of housing starts. But for me, it wasn't just housing starts, it was also the construction of rental units, and in particular rental buildings. We've got a real shortage of rental accommodation here in Brantford, and we're now starting to see that the supply beginning to be able to meet that demand.
Some of that demand is from the more than 200 workers at Massili North America, a factory on Elgin Street in Brantford that churns out over 1 billion metal lids a year.
We manufacture metal twist closures, which is a fancy name for the metal top of a glass jar of pickles or salsa or spaghetti sauce that you can find in almost every fridge in Canada and the United States.
Earlier this month, Massili announced they are getting into the can business as well, using steel produced in Hamilton.
We are starting up a new facility to manufacture 3-piece metal food cans for the Canadian agri-food business. That will be using Canadian steel from Hamilton, processed here in Brantford to make the cans, packed with Canadian agriculture down in southwestern Ontario, and sold through Canadian retail shelves across the country.
That expansion is happening in Brantford. Garnet Lasby, the president of Massili North America, says this area is attractive for a number of reasons, including cost and location.
When we got here, we found out that the transportation capability from Brantford and the quality of the workforce are both just exceptional. We have access from our raw materials into Brantford and access to the market throughout North America, because we serve Canada, the US, and Mexico from here. We have excellent transportation routes, and we've been able to hire wonderful people from the area.
Coming up later in the show, I'll take you for a tour of some of my favorite spots in this area, and I hope you have an appetite.